exercise-wise and some mental notes and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's real conscious on that. He did change my perspective on trying to get some, you know what I'm saying, on social injustice and on our black, how we need unity and shit like that. He did change the nigga insight on that a whole lot, you know.
So he knowledgeable.
Being that he was, hell yeah, that nigga was around with the civil rights shit. He was actually in it, you know what I'm saying, up there with the Panther movement and all that shit, you know what I'm saying. He come from that, so, you know, I'm heavy on reading into that, you know what I'm saying, and all that, you know, knowing where I'm coming from, so we know where the fuck we're going type shit.
I seen a little history, but I ain't really dig into it. That's something I might look up.
Yeah.
We can add that conversation in. Look it up.
Indeed. I definitely, man, shit, 17 years, nigga, did a lot of books.
Yeah.
A lot of books, nigga. They start banning books. They took.
Yeah. So did you get the GD in the early of the bid or later on?
I got that in my first 6 months.
The first 6 months, okay.
It was a mandatory requirement for. They tried to make a nigga do an ABE test, an adult basic education test. But when the teacher said the score, she said, "Why did you even in this class?" You know.
Yeah, you're like you need to go test out type shit.
She like,
don't take your GED.
She told me to take the pre-GED test. Talk about my fucking 5th day in there. She like, take the pre-GED test. And you score high enough, I just signed you. You ain't even have to come to class. So took the pre-GED test, and of course. And she just looking at me. She's like, "Why is you in that class?" And I kind of gave her the background of what had happened. You know what I'm saying? And let her know. She got my
part of my shit.
So she got my transcripts and all that. She was like,
yeah.
She was like, yeah.
See, I talked to Baby about that too a lot. Different. I say, a lot of the guys back home when I was growing up, we didn't get our GED.
Yeah.
In our school, like we would have to share books and shit. It was so fucked up. Our school system was so fucked up in the city that it's easily to just be like, let's start a fight, or let's act a fool, or let me sneak out of class, or let me do something ridiculous.
I mean, but that's it. It's systematically designed for that, for the black youth.
And it's crazy, but man, we'll go into that later on, how the Detroit system was set up and how we did ourselves too. Man, it was crazy.
I grew up
crazy.
I came back to Oklahoma in '89. So we grew up on the East Coast. Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Landover, Virginia. So, you know, that talking about them like main states where they started quote unquote a project, and people think the project is just the living quarters where we're at.
Right.
No, the project is a whole project that they were whole project that they was experiencing, experimenting with on the community. Right. Not just the housing, it was the schooling community, like the school to prison pipeline is for real. You know what I'm saying?
But I told that I really admired that about Oklahoma when I came here. I was like, it's hot out here sometimes, but you ain't gotta ride around everywhere with a pistol. The school system. It's like you get it. If you outside and you doing what you out here doing, that's what I'm saying. You outside playing that type of game, but back home it don't necessarily got to be that. You know what I'm saying? You getting your butt snatched. You know what I'm saying?
Sasa.
So
Sasa. This Uncle Faye, that's my favorite niece, my great niece. Come here. You want a snack?
Yeah.
Yeah, see that? Come on. Yeah.
Whatever. Snacks, probably.
Alright. You only want one? Alright. You want some chips? What am I cutting? That's some big laughing there.